What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in, man. As you can see, not my normal setup. I'm on vacation. I'm in Florida at my father-in-law's house. You may hear background noise, but as you can see, I'm recording this off of my iPhone. Do not have my official equipment, none of the fancy stuff. This is just in and out, quick and dirty. Just wanted to give you my quick thoughts, man, on the franchise deep dive. If I could be quick and brief with it, listen, let's just get this out the way. There's a ton left to be done in Madden before any of us are over the moon happy. There's a lot of things still to address in franchise mode. I mean, there's a laundry list of things that I could talk about. And again, I will get into that later on, but just to give you my initial thoughts, there's a lot of stuff remaining. There's still remaining to do. Let's get that out the way. But if I'm just giving my opinion on what's being shown in the article, in the deep dive, I mean, if you guys haven't seen it, go check it out. If I remember, I'm honestly say that if I remember, I will put a link to the actual blog and in the description. Go read it for yourself, man. And as far as what's being presented there, it's good to see. I will say that it's good to see. I'm excited about the things that will be presented in franchise, even though there's still so many more things to do. I mean, just even practice, you guys know that's one of my things. Practice needs to be more important. It needs to be some effect on you practicing. And maybe if a guy stands out in practice and you put him in the game for that week or what have you and see if he can transcend. Instead of it just being, applying weekly strategy and earning XP. I want physical practice to mean more preparation, things like that. Also, if you want to talk about, the ability to, again, with practice to scrimmage and allow the performance of the scrimmage to determine how guys, may leap somebody in the depth chart. Numerous different things like that. Wear and tear over the course of a year. I know right now they have the progressive fatigue, but we need to see more of that when it comes to injury. There needs to be more wear and tear to the body, things of that nature. And you have to make decisions and determinations on whether or not you want someone to continue to play and let it not just be the big decision that's currently in franchise mode where it's either high risk or not. And those are just small little tips of the iceberg, man. There's so much more I would want to see. The old drills come back, and pro days, like really us being able to see that type of thing now that we have this more scouting that is presented. And hopefully it'll be linked to NCAA whenever that returns. And don't even get me started with that. I got so many ideas for that. But mini camps and OTAs and those drills, I mean, it's so much stuff, especially for offline gamers. Now, I know some of that stuff is hard to do for online, but I would like to see it in both spaces. And maybe you can turn on what you want and what you don't want. But anyway, as far as what's being presented, happy to see it. Happy to see that there is some real focus on making things a better experience in franchise mode. Now, the question is going to be, is it all going to work? That's what it's going to come down to. We didn't have a lot of time in the beta. Franchise came in about a week before the beta ended. So me personally, I didn't get a chance to really dive in and do my dissecting and things of that nature. But if it works as it reads, happy to see some of that stuff. Happy to see that there's going to be more give or take, and more trying to woo somebody to stay in free agency. And the same thing, with being your own internal free agents. And I'm hoping there's going to be a little more meat on the bone when it comes to scouting. It reads like it will be, but I still think there's a lot more that could be done there. But again, if you're just reading the article word for word, what's being presented in franchise mode, it's good to see that there's still effort being spent there. Couple questions I would have, though, is are they still going to do continuous development? Will there be another feature or many features that might show up during the cycle? And my second question would be, are they going to stay on this path? Because honestly, man, if you look at in totality what they're doing with Madden gameplay wise and what they're trying to do with the franchise features that they're offering this year, it finally looks like a game that some of us can actually be satisfied with for the moment. Not fully satisfied, not talking about a finished product, but just basically like, okay, I see where you're going if you stay down this road. And how many years have we said that, right? And it's got to get to a point where we're not saying that anymore about Madden. It's a shame that we still feel that way in this regard. But the truth of the matter is, if it hasn't been what we've expected for several years, then you have to at least see a starting point, right? And the other thing I want to talk about, man, is I don't understand why we complain so much about previous features coming back to Madden, or things from a previous gen or a previous game like an NCAA. Why are we upset about that? I feel like everything that we once had in old Maddens, the head coaches, the old NCAA games, all of that stuff when it came to franchise and career modes should be in the current day Madden. So why am I going to be mad at that? Like, I get it. We feel like we should be further along, but the fact of the matter is Madden isn't. So I'm not going to be upset about any features that are being added to franchise mode, whether it be old or new. I think all of that stuff needs to be there, as well as I think there needs to be some more innovation. So two things can be true at one time. So that's just my quick and dirty, man. Maybe when I get home and I have a chance to kind of go through the article like I've done in the past and break down each and everything, I'll do that. But like I said, I don't have the capability to do that right here. So I just wanted to give my initial thoughts, and I'm sure everyone is giving their opinions. So I'll just, again, just keep it very brief in saying I like everything that they're presenting as far as franchise mode. What's going to be the tell is whether or not all of that stuff works and works consistently, and whether or not those things really have an effect on the game and gameplay and yada, yada, yada. And that's really going to be the determining factor. But I don't have any issue at all with what's being presented. I believe, in my opinion, it's a decent amount of stuff. I'm not going to say a lot, but I think I'm going to feel that way for a few more years because there's still so much more left to be done. It's no way that I'm going to feel in one cycle, oh, man, they knocked out everything. No. What I should be saying over the next couple years is, all right, this is off the list too. This is off the list. And then one day, hopefully, we're looking back and saying, wow, finally, franchise mode has the extreme depth that we were expecting. So we'll see. We'll see. I like what's being presented. It's gonna come down to consistency, man. It's gonna come down to how consistent it plays out. And again, I know I repeated myself here. How well does it actually affect and apply to the game and gameplay? If everything works as it reads, great. For those guys like myself who play both online and offline, I think this Madden 23 will be a game that we can enjoy while we wait for the next iteration. And that's just my opinion today. That could change. All right, so those are my quick thoughts, man. Again, if you haven't already, I'm always going to remind you guys, man, hit that like button if you like the content. I know this content is not the same as what you usually expect, but nonetheless, if you like what I had to say here, hit the like button. If you like the content on the channel, subscribe to the channel. And last but not least, make sure you turn on your notifications so you're aware when videos come your way. So that's going to do it. Until next time, always, thank you for coming through and let me know what you think. Peace.